ladies, welcome to today's team call. It is, what is the date? April 6th. What the heck? It is April 6th, and what should you know for this week? First things first, for Divine Dynasty, this weekend is Virtual Super Weekend. That is April 10th, and it kicks off at 11 a.m. Central. There are a couple reminders in the team page already and scheduled to pop up in the days to come so that you have that link. But what you'll do is you'll simply click that link, and then at 11 a.m. Central, the streaming will be live. What is a super weekend? Maybe you're very new here and you have no idea what a super weekend is. It's freaking awesome. They are releasing a sample workout of the Let's Get Up program with Shaun T. So that's super exciting. And they are also going to be talking about up and coming products, new programs that are going to be launching. Cough, cough, wallas. I'm hoping we hear a lot more about, because that test group just kicked off 2 weeks ago, maybe. So hopefully we have a little bit more insight of what he is bringing to the table, because I'm super excited for that. So mark your calendar, Virtual Super Weekend. I think it'll be about an hour, maybe an hour and a half-ish. So hopefully you can be there. Next thing to know is Netflix movie night will be April 16th at 8 p.m. You'll simply look for the link in the team page that evening, and then you can join in from there. It's a group chat, so you don't actually see anyone, but you guys get to watch the movie together. Then lastly, the reminder. Loyalty program. So every single month that you order 50 PV or more of product, you can fill out the form that is located in the announcement section of the team page, where you just put in, what your order was, etc. And then if you are, or like if your account is active for 3 months, I send you a gift simply for showing up for yourself. So since it is April now, the first 3 months have already passed. So anybody who has ordered the first 3 months of the year, I will be prepping and shipping out gifts in the coming weeks as I get them customized and ready for you. It is not too late to go ahead and fill out those loyalty forms. Again, the loyalty form is in the announcement section of Divine Dynasty. And then we also have Shake a Day. If you have been consecutive drinking a shake for the past 3 months, then you can go celebrate on the Happier Healthier. It's in the announcements there. Celebrate there, say, I did 3 months, like 90 days of drinking 1 shake a day. Tell us how different you're feeling. Make sure you fill out that, and you will get a prize from me. Again, these gifts are coming soon. I do have to get them customized for you as you fill out the forms, and then they will be sent your way. So be on the lookout for those. I'm celebrating you guys. So excited. Now, what to know for Beachbody? Again, the Let's Get Up sample workout. They will have one this Saturday that I hope you are going to be trying, but they are also going to be having one April 12th, which is Monday. And in the team page, we are going to be having like a celebration. So anyone who tries out the program, gives it a review on that post that I have going up on Monday. If you try it and review it for us to tell us what you thought of it, what you liked, what you disliked, all the things, you're going to be entered in for a drawing. I'm going to be giving away some goodies, just simply because you reviewed a program. So make sure you try out that sample. I'm super excited. I know at first I was like, oh, just a dance program. Man, Shaun, I don't like size. You're too intense for me. But when you mix in weights with dancing, okay, that's my jam. So really pumped. Also, what's super important to know, the Success Club trip for 2022 will be in Punta Cana. It is now available for you to opt in. What does opt in mean? So simply all you do is fill out a form where you put your name on the list in case you want to go to Punta Cana. Then if you're invited, they go off an order of how many Success Club points you had last year. And then they'll invite those people, and they can either accept or decline, book or not book. And as people don't book, or as people cancel their rooms, then the opt-in list, they go down and you will get that invite. I will tell you from experience, even if you are like number 405,000, you will more than likely still get an invite, because that was me the first 2 years. So make sure you opt in. And then how do you earn money to go towards that trip? help people this year. And for every person that you help, you get some trip dollars. And so that covers that expense for the Punta Cana trip, just making sure that you're helping other people. Next and last thing to know for today is Virtual Coach Summit. If you have not registered for it, if you were registered for a regular summit beforehand, then you are already automatically registered for Virtual Summit. But if you were not, make sure that you register for Virtual Coach Summit. It will be July 15th through 17th. And if you've never attended a coach summit before, oh my gosh, it is life changing. And when I say that, I know I say that a lot, but this is the one thing that literally changed my life. Being able to work out in front of Autumn with her right there above me. You don't realize how far you've come until you're in that spot. So I know it is virtual. If you are not comfortable meeting up with people, then definitely just make sure you register for the virtual link and get there. However, if you are ready to party and you want to meet up with people, we are having an actual team meetup. I have not announced the city yet. I still want to wait a couple weeks while I figure out information, but it will be July 15th through 17th. So make sure you get it on your calendar, mark it off, whatever you need to do. And it is drivable. That is important to know. It is drivable. And we hope that you can be there with us to celebrate. As always, we're going to have team parties, we're going to have team pictures, all the good things. And of course, just that community time together. If you guys have questions about those, drop them in the comments. But for now, let's go ahead and dive into today's team call topic, which is finding your joy. Whoo, this one was I'm constantly going to be talking about this because it's the season that I'm in, and it's the season that I've been in for as long as I can remember. I am that person who, I just never had fun. Like, I was raised like, if you're sitting down, you need to figure out something to do, because we're not lazy like that. We get shit done, right? And that's just how it was always. Like, there was no downtime. We were constantly doing something. And so this whole concept of joy is really freaking foreign to me. When we were at the winery a few weeks ago, I was laughing with someone else there because they said, once they got into this relationship, that whole family would take afternoon naps. And the first time he laid down to take a nap, he woke up and he was like looking around like, oh my gosh, is my mom going to beat my ass, right? Like, because I took a nap. And I think that's just the thing. We don't think about that when we're growing up, but when you become an adult and you're like, fun, joy, what is this? You don't really recognize that you missed out on doing that or making it a priority. And so that's what today's team call is going to be about. So what is joy? Joy is simply the feeling of great pleasure and happiness. Joy is happy, obviously. And I know that's very like, okay, well, that picture was supposed to be different, but it's fine. We're going to go with it. So are you allowing yourself to be happy? That's really the question, right? So many times, and especially me growing up, I recognize, like, I love to be busy. I love to be productive. I love to do. But the question that I've had to ask myself the last few years is, am I actually doing things that bring me joy? Am I actually allowing myself to be happy? Because happiness isn't something that will come to you. It's not a result of, how much weight you lose or the fancy things that you own or the money that you make. There's not an outside force that's going to create happy for you. Happiness is created by you. It's something that you create actively every single day. It's a choice that you get to make. And I know that seems really, really foreign and really weird, because I was like, no, today was a bad day. There's nothing happy about that, right? Wrong. We get to choose it. We get to create it. We are in control of our life. We're not in control of our circumstances. And I understand not every day is good, but you get to find the good. You get to create more good. And so that's really what we're diving into. It's easy. It's so easy to live the life that you've lived for 30 whatever years, right? It's easy to complain. It's easy to judge. It's easy to be resentful because they have all the fancy things and life is just so easy for them. It takes hard work for you to stop that bullshit in its tracks and think and do good things, right? When you are thinking and doing good things, When you feel good, when you are happy, you treat other people around you better. And like we all know that. But are you allowing yourself to be happy? You may not recognize it, but there are some ways that you stop yourself from being happy. And what are those things? Foreboding joy. I can't say that word. Foreboding joy, which is essentially just waiting for the other shoe to drop, right? Like you've had so many crappy things happen that anytime something good happens, you're like, all right, well, this is good, but when is the shit storm hitting, right? And you're constantly looking over your shoulder. You're constantly not celebrating you because you know something is going to go wrong. Another way that you're stopping yourself from being happy is you're forcing yourself to earn your joy. This is me. Let me raise my hand. I will say, like, oh, I really want to go hiking, or I really want to go to the park, or I really want to go here. Oh, but I can't do that until my to-do list is done, right? And then I will spend not one day, because this is way more than just a one day to-do list. I will spend a week working on my to-do list, and I will turn around and realize, oh, well, I just wasted all the time. My kids did not get any time with me. My husband did not get any time with me. I did not get any time with me because I was too busy being busy. You say no to you so that you can work, so that you feel like you've done enough so that you can earn the play, earn the fun. You think that you can't just go have fun or be happy right now in this moment. Another way that I see a lot of us women stop ourselves from being happy is we make ourselves a martyr. And you're thinking, well, I don't do that. I'm a mom. Like, I don't do that. That's actually my job. And girl, I get it. I get it. You have a family to take care of. I get it. You have work to go to. I get it. You have a spouse to answer to, right? Or work in relationship with. I understand. I understand there's a lot of things that you're trying to manage right now. But putting everyone else first and not taking care of you is actually what's stopping you from being happy, because you're working in burnout, you're working in resentment, you're working in blaming everyone else. You're blaming them as to why you can't be happy. You're resenting them because you're always taking care of everyone else. But what if for once you just told them no for an hour, right? And you took that hour to yourself? How much different is it going to feel? I did not say that right, and I don't know how to say it better. So it'll feel different if you just show up for you. So I guess look at these three things right now and ask yourself, are you doing any of these? Is there any point that you're like, oh, that's me? Are there other ways that you're stopping yourself from being happy? Because I think that there's so many, these are just like top three that I thought of. But I think there's so many other ways that we stop ourselves from actually just enjoying our lives. And it's really, really crazy. You know, you could take in comparison and judgment and looking for the greener grass somewhere else. Those are all different ways that we stop our own happiness. Another thing, are you looking for acceptance? This one is me too, right? You are constantly doing things to please other people. You don't want them to feel left out. You don't want them to reject you. You don't want to have to stand up for you. You don't want all of these negative feelings around relationships. So instead, you're just like, you know what? I'm going to blend in, right? You try to fit into random places, become this different person so that maybe someone will accept you. If that's you, I'm going to ask you with some tough love, does that actually make you feel good? Does it actually make you feel good to do things you don't like to do? Does it actually make you feel good to be stuck in the comparison or the judgment or those icky feelings when you're not being accepted and you're not accepting yourself, right? Stop trying to fit into places that you don't belong, because I can promise you and I can tell you there are other people in the world like you, other people who want to be friends with you. Stop looking for attention in all the wrong places. Stop fighting for relationships that aren't willing to fight for you. I can't say the word. Reciprocate, right? Like in a relationship, you want people to reciprocate your feelings. And if they are not, girl, bye. Save your energy for someone who will. You've got to be so you so that other people like you can find you and they can embrace themselves and they can embrace you. And how much better is it going to feel when you're doing things that you want, not what everybody else wants or expects of you? Stop looking at them. Stop trying to please them. Stop trying to see what she does to be happy. And I think this is one of the most prevalent things that I see when I see women join the team or join our boot camps. We look at other people and we're like, oh my gosh, she's successful. Oh my gosh, she's lost all this weight. Oh my gosh, she's happy. Oh my gosh, she retired from her job. Oh my gosh, she matches her husband's income. Well, whatever those are, right? There's so many things that we look and say, that's what she's done. So I've got to do exactly what she did so that I can create that, right? Wrong. You can't do exactly what she did because you're not her. And that just is what it is. Happiness is such an individual thing. You can't look at what someone else is doing and expect that when you do that, you will get the exact same outcome. Can you look at what she's doing that makes her happy and think like, you know, I don't know what makes me happy, so I'm going to try that, see how it feels. And then you try it and you're like, this shoe, nope, it's off. It hurts. I don't like it. It's icky. Nope, it's not me. Take the damn shoe off and find something different, right? Happiness is such an individual thing. Give yourself permission to discover what your happy is. Give yourself permission to try all sorts of things and say no to things that are not a hell yes. And this for me is really important when I look inside my home. As a family of 5, we are each our own individual person, right? So things that make me happy aren't the things that make my children happy. They aren't the things that make my husband happy. And really understanding that it's okay that we are all our own individual human, but still bringing that together as a family, that's super, super important to me because your home is only as happy as the least happy person. And that's kind of where I've been leaning on the past year. The least happy person in my family. Can you think of that person right now in your family? How are we allowing them to be that individual, right? Because that's the key, is really embracing and accepting your own individuality. And when you can give yourself permission to be you, it also gives them permission to be them. And how beautiful is that? The fact that you showing up for your health is paying it forward to everyone around you. Damn, yo, you're doing hard things, and I am so proud. Remember, you can look at anyone else in the whole wide world and you can say, I wish I had what she does. But you have to ask yourself, are you willing to do the work that she did to get to where she's at? Because the grass is not greener on her side. Like, it's not. She had rough patches and she had to fertilize that shit and she dug and she planted and she kept going and she worked really freaking hard. If you want green grass, then water your own. Okay? You can't get what she has if you're not willing to do what it took her to do. And it didn't take her copying someone else. It took her getting real with who she is to become who she is. So now let's get into the tangible stuff because I know you guys all know all of that stuff. I'm sure a lot of it was a good punch the gut reminder of what you need to be happy and create joy. But how do you do that, right? You're not just going to wake up one day and be like, oh, yeah, it's all butterflies and rainbows and sunshine. No. This is a mindset that we have to adopt into when you can realize that you do not have a fixed situation at all, right? Your life is not fixed. There is not one track. You constantly get to be growing. You constantly get to be moving. When you can recognize that and understand that everything in your life is movable, whoo, how powerful is that? So how do you create joy now? How do you create it today? For me, the most simple thing is a joy list. And you might be asking, a joy list, what is that? So it's simply a piece of paper. You can get any piece of paper. You can get a fancy piece of paper, whatever. Get a piece of paper. And on this piece of paper, take some time and write down things that if you did them right now, they would instantly be like a cup of sunshine, right? Like it would make you feel good. Your heart would be like, oh, yes, your smile, super big. It changes your mood around. And create that joy list. What are some things that bring me joy? When Alexa plays Justin Bieber music every single morning, yo. My glass of Energize, lemon specifically, Every single morning, yo. When I am able to go outside for a hike, when I go adventure and find new places, that's so fun. Trying new foods, that makes me feel so good. I've started this thing for my 75 for me where it's called grounding. It's where you put like your bare feet and your body on the actual ground. Oh my gosh, I don't know why I was not doing this sooner because it's freaking amazing, instant joy. And every time when that 5-minute timer goes off, I'm like, no, I don't want to stop. That brings me joy. Laying in my hammock brings me joy. Watching murder mystery shows bring me joy. Reading a book brings me joy. These are all things that I could put on my joy list, right? Things that I could do right now in this moment that will turn my attitude around. And maybe you know some things that are on your list. If so, drop them in the comments here. I would love to see what some of your joy things are. Maybe you don't know. Maybe you haven't dove into this and discovered that, because I understand that's where I was when I started this whole wellness journey 6 years ago. I didn't know what made me happy. I was so lost trying to become this version of who I thought I was supposed to be for everyone else. I didn't even know who I was. So I had to dive in and try and figure that out. And it was a lot of trial and error. But you really have to make your happiness a priority. You have to put it on your calendar, make it a non negotiable. So, in my 75 for me, and honestly, for the past, I would say 2 months, every single day I have do something fun. Do something fun. Why? Because if I don't have joy in my calendar, if I'm not making it a priority, it's not going to happen. Because remember how I said I'm that person who just stays busy? I could stay busy all day long and never do anything fun simply because my go-to action, mindset, emotion is work, work, work. And that just, it could be cleaning the house, it could be doing laundry, it could be making lists. It doesn't matter as long as it's productive, right? So when I actually schedule out a specific time where I put have fun on my to-do list, I have to check it off. So I can't finish my day until it is checked off. So you really have to make it a priority for you. And this is me asking you, have you been making your joy a priority? Gut check for real. Like, what's the last thing you did for yourself? In the last 7 days, what have you done for you? And I want to call you out on that, because if you're not taking that time, the only person who's stopping you from being happy is you. You get to create your happiness simply by the actions that you take. So why can't you have it today? Right? Like, I want to ask you right now, what is the struggle? If you're like, oh, I'm not happy, rough patch in life, like blah, 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 all these things, all these struggles that we're facing and dealing with, what is the reason that you cannot have happiness today? What is that story you're telling yourself? Is it because you're a mom? Is it because you're busy? Is it because life is chaotic? Write it down. Say it out loud, whatever you need to do to get it out of your mind, because that fear, that limiting belief, is a thing that's keeping you stuck. And I want you to move past that. I want you to recognize that you are worthy and you are loved, and it is freaking K. It is actually absolutely necessary for you to take care of you, for you to have time to yourself, for you to have fun. So here is a list that I got from the Success blog that I thought was super, super powerful in how you can find your joy right now. And of course, the first thing is stop waiting to be happy, right? Like, the world isn't just going to one day be like, okay, here's everything falling into line and it just happens for you. Stop waiting to be happy. Create that shit. 2, add happiness to your life right now. So exactly like what I just said, make it a priority. Put it on your calendar. Make it happen in this moment today. Take care of yourself, which most of you are, right? You're already doing workouts, you're already drinking water, you're already eating right. But are you taking those self-care acts? If you're in Happier, Healthier, then last month we shared 30 different acts that you can do every single day. Use it. And if you already went through all of them, use it again. It never runs out of time, right? Like, you can always do these things if they bring you joy. Get in a joyful state of mind. So if something's weighing down on you, if you just feel blah or negative, get it all out and start looking for that joy, right? The gratitude list, the daily joy list. 5, stop worrying. I know, I get it. I understand, as a mom, as a human, it's our nature to worry. We want to worry about everything that we can't control. But you have to control the controllable and let go of everything else, right? Because there's literally nothing you can do to change it. So if you cannot change the situation in this moment, you have got to let it go and stop worrying, because you are literally making yourself sick. 100% sick from the inside out. 6, appreciate the small things. So again, gratitude list, journal. Like I do in my podcast, I talk about how I do like gratitude moments where I'll be like, oh my gosh, this feeling right here, I just love this, right? Appreciate those small things. Maybe you love the color of the sky today, or the fact that it was super sunshiny, the fact that I burnt my nose from my mirrored sunnies. Like I got a sunburn and I'm totally freaking pumped about it, right? Because I've been in clouds for so long and I'm so excited for the sunshine. 7, surround yourself with positive people. You are, what do they say? You are the 5 people who are around you, right? Like that's the truth. So figure out who you need to start surrounding yourself with. Who can you look up to? Who can you follow? Who can you create that friendship with, that relationship with, so that you are surrounded by positive people? Laugh, laugh, and laugh some more. I don't know what's funny to you, but go find something that's funny and do that all the time. Watch a comedy every day. Listen to jokes. I don't know what it takes. Freaking laugh. Let yourself laugh. What book was it? The Happiness Project, where she had said that adults laugh maybe 7 to 14 times a day. I don't know. Those numbers are probably totally wrong, but it was a very, very low number. And I was like, oh, that's so sad that we only laugh 14 times a day. In 24 hours, 14 times. Gosh, that's heartbreaking, right? I want to laugh hundreds. I want to laugh all day long. Like, fill up my cup. 9, love more. When you accept yourself and you love yourself, you give more love. But you also have to let love in. And this is what I see often, is we let our fears and our limiting beliefs stop us. And we push people away. We say we are not accepted. We let those fears creep in. Let yourself be loved. Let people love you. Give love openly and freely, because that's what really the world needs more of, is more love. 10, find bliss in a bucket list. I loved this one. I never would have thought about this, but literally just making a bucket list. I love bucket lists. I love figuring out, something that I want to do. Again, I'm very goal oriented. So write out a bucket list, even if it's something as small as like going skinny dipping, or, sitting around a bonfire, or maybe it is traveling to Alaska, or, camping in the woods. I don't know what's going to be on your bucket list, but create a bucket list and then start making it a priority to mark things off that list. Because guess what? You only get one life. And when that bucket is kicked, that is it. 11, plan your happiness. And this is exactly like what I said earlier. Put it on your calendar. Make it a priority. Schedule it out weeks in advance if you have to. If you're dying for a girls' trip, freaking plan one. Stop waiting for someone else to do it. Do it your damn self. Okay? So now, that is what I have for today. I will go ahead and stop sharing. If you guys have any questions, comments, or takeaways, please feel free to unmute yourself or drop it in the comments. Oh, I will check out the comments now.
Whenever you said, you were like, I just didn't know what brought me joy. And it still hits me right in my gut every time you bring that up, because I remember the exact question at the exact time, the exact day, the exact moment, the exact emotion I had behind that question. Because you're like, well, what makes you happy? And I'm like, I have no idea what makes me happy. And everything that makes me happy was tied to other people. That was another mind-blowing realization, that I had tied so much of my happiness in other people and how they're showing up in my life, and how you will always, always, always be disappointed, because humans are just innately selfish. That's just how we are. And we don't think about other people like that as much as maybe someone thinks that we should be for them, or how we think they should be for us. So it's been, like you said, to-do list. 75 for me has been all about that. It's been all about joy and self-care and reflection. I had gotten away from like doing the meditations in the morning. And I knew, I was like, this is your chance. This is your chance to check that box that you're doing what you say you're going to do. And drinking enough water every day. My morning routine, my joy list, my grateful journal, my to-dos, my everything that I can get laid out in front of me, my personal development every morning or every day, depending on, how my day goes, and having fun. Like, that was such a foreign concept for me too. And you preached and preached and preached and preached and preached to me. You gotta have fun, you gotta have fun, you gotta have fun. I'm like, I don't have fun. That's dumb. Like, we don't need fun here. But Amy operates better whenever Amy's having fun, right?
Absolutely. Well, here I am still preaching it.
Yeah, I'm a better person whenever I have fun. And everybody gets a better version of me whenever I've had fun. So yeah, that question, still, I remember the feeling of being completely clueless about what makes me happy. And that is, it makes me sad at the same time that I didn't know for so long what made me happy. And I get to explore that every day. And that's like the beautiful part of it. So if you're asking yourself this question, what brings you joy? What makes you happy? It's not like a question of shame. It's just a question. And you get to grow through that. You get to figure it out every single day. And that's the really, really cool thing about it. You get to have fun finding your joy. It's so freaking.
Natalie, I am trying to look for this number of how many laughs, because I know that the numbers were ridiculous. Like the amount of times a kid laughs in a day versus the amount of times an adult does. And I can't freaking find it. So
I laugh a lot. I don't know.
I'm going to wake up at midnight knowing this number or what page it's on.
I feel like it was at the beginning somewhere.
I know. That's what I'm trying to find. I thought it was in the parenting chapter, but I think I'm just rushing through it. Anyways, any other questions, comments, or takeaways before y'all watch me read a book here?
I'm just looking online, and it says that adults only laugh 15 times a day compared to children that laugh over 400 times a day at small, innocent little things.
Yeah,
which is crazy. Like, I can't even imagine laughing that many times a day. Like, that's kind of sad that I'm not that extremely happy all the time.
100%. And it's our innate nature to laugh that much, because babies are like, that's us before we were trained on how we should live or how we should show up. It literally, like, same. It made me like sick to my stomach. Like, wow, that's a big difference. And I don't laugh 14 times a day. Cool.
I feel like the older you get, it probably declines. Like, even from like a 3-year-old to like a 9-year-old, it just like, because if you think about it, like, we have a neighbor who's like 3-ish, and I was just with him tonight. So thinking about like the little things he laughs at that obviously that don't faze us, but then, and then Riley, you think of like, okay, she's still some, but it's not the same as what he's doing. So it is crazy to think about like how we get from here to here. There's obviously still.
Well, and I personally think a lot of that comes in when they're starting to get in the teenage, like in the school aged years, right? So like as judgment and criticism starts to come into play, we are trained to play small, be quiet, do things a different way, because that's not acceptable, right? Like, fuck a bunch of that shit. I want my kids to laugh all day, every day, for all of their life, right? Like, I don't want them to be 30 years old figuring out how to have fun and how to be happy, right? Like, what kind of BS is this?
Like, you pay attention to your kids and how they laugh and like their different laughs, because I mean, if you know me personally, you know how I laugh. When I listen to my youngest and how he laughs, and it's such like a giggle and it's like I don't even know how to describe it, but it's such like a joyful laugh. And then my oldest son, he has this maniacal laugh, like you just know he's up to no good. And me, it's like you're gonna hear me whenever I think something's funny. Everybody in the fucking room's gonna hear me.
Yes, Amy,
So,
everyone
yeah.
can hear you. I love it. Your laugh is very was somebody say something?
I
think your laugh is very contagious. So like when you laugh, I laugh at your joy. Like literally 100%. Seeing you happy, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's the best feeling ever.
You know, that's the thing. It's like because I laugh so hard and so loud, and I'm like, but at the other side of that, I can be the most serious, depressing person ever, right? So it's like, what the hell? Like, how can you go from one extreme to the other? I just don't understand it.
100%.
And as we're sitting here talking about laughing, he's here laughing at himself, doing nothing. Often do you sit and laugh at yourself?
I'm gonna tell you what. Doing 6 weeks of the work, I never honestly understood how funny Amwala was and how he cracks stupid jokes, or he'll like poke fun at some of the cast. And like there's this big, I love this big old jock looking dude that's on there, Leif. His name's Leif. And he always has dumb jokes to say. And I'm like mid dying and I'm laughing at his dumbass jokes. And I'm like, and Wallace like, you gotta have fun. You just gotta have fun. I'm like sitting here thinking, I was terrified because I thought you were going to kill me. And you're like telling me I need to have fun. And then 2 seconds later telling me to take my hands off my knees because that's the sign of weakness. Or I can't do a push-up. If you can't do a push-up, you can't do this program. But let's have fun. It's just hilarious to me. And finding myself laughing at random times throughout that workout. Like a week ago, they were doing some kind of moves and they were all doing like dance moves in the middle of them. And I'm like, listen, we're supposed to be dying right now, not acting dumb.
But I think Natalie said it right. Like we're trained to be serious and it just is what it is, whether it was someone telling us that or just like society. And I'm just, nope, no, thank you. I want you to live the rest of your life totally happy, totally in love with where you're at, right? And so hopefully you have some things on your joy list. Hopefully you know ways that you can add happiness and joy to your life, or maybe you know what's stopping you. But regardless, today and every day, you do get to decide. And you're going to have bad days. Like, of course, everyone has bad days. But just like the whole point of a gratitude practice, just when you are more aware of what you're thinking, of how you're behaving, of the thoughts that that are going through your head, I think that's really the key to all of this, right? Like Amy said, really taking the emotion out of the questions that you're asking yourself and just be very matter of fact so that you can grow. That's the beauty in it. Every single day you get to grow. All right, ladies, I appreciate you for being here. Let me go ahead. Let's take a picture or a boomerang. Let's boomerang. Oh, I guess I can stop the recording.